Hi there, I'm Cheyenne.
And I'm Juan.
And
we are Down with the Dominguezes.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Cheyenne Dominguez, and I'm here with
Juan Dominguez.
Hi. So we are taking you on a little weekend getaway with the Dominguezes, and this is kind of in honor of one of my favorite travel series, and that's the 36 Hours series with the New York Times. So there are hundreds of weekend getaway write-ups, 36 hours in pretty much every city you can imagine. But it's basically the idea that you work hard all week and you enjoy a weekend getaway for 36 hours somewhere away from home.
Yep, absolutely.
So this 36 hours with the Dominguezes was in the Mountain State, West Virginia.
West Virginia. Here's a fact. It's the only state completely within the Appalachian Mountain region.
Okay.
And its average elevation is higher than any other state east of the Mississippi River.
Look at that.
Which makes sense. That's where we went skiing.
Yep. So we hit the mountains of West Virginia to go skiing, Juan and I, and then our boys love to snowboard, so they went snowboarding. So, well, we hit the road on Friday afternoon.
Don't give the whole episode away. Come on.
We hit the road on Friday afternoon, and it was not uneventful. 36 hours.
So yeah, we were 36 hours.
There was fighting, there was crying, there was joy, laughter, worry. There was a little bit of everything.
A little something for everyone in this episode. And I'll tell you, it's 36 hours in West Virginia and 8 hours of drive time.
4 hours to 4 hours home.
Yep.
Oh boy.
And an interesting drive, no doubt, because for those of you that are from the great state of New Jersey, you know that we have the unique jug handle turn thingy, right?
Right on your kind of those, what are those?
Secondary highways.
It's like a secondary expressway. It's like a local highway,
right?
Kind of thing.
Instead of a U-turn, it's like a jug handle. It's very weird. We won't spend a whole lot of time explaining it. If you're from New Jersey,
people know what we're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Well, in West Virginia,
it's even weirder.
Something a little bit more unique. I would call it a off-ramp to nowhere. It's like an off-ramp to nowhere. It's like turn right for US 32, and you turn right, and it's a road that goes, I don't know, maybe 100 feet into a snowbank.
Into just a dead end, a bank, like a wall, like goes nowhere. And so I think we finally figured out after the third or fourth
time
wall in the dark,
yes,
not lit, that
I was lit. Yeah, I was pretty mad.
That we finally figured out you don't actually make the turn. You just kind of follow the road, maybe curve a little bit right or curve a little bit left, like 1 degree. That means turn right or turn left. Don't actually make the hard right into the dead end snowbank.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an interesting ride, but we got there.
Yeah, because our oldest was asleep in the back, and he only woke up every time
we had a turn.
We were turning around.
We thought we were falling off a cliff. It's like, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Where are we going?
No, don't worry about it. Yep.
But we did that, and we finally made it after quite a few wrong turns.
Yeah, we made it. We made it safe and sound. We pulled into the hotel. We checked in. We got to our room. You wiped everything down.
I COVID disinfected everything. I wouldn't let anyone. Everyone had to hold their breath from this.
No, you have to. You have
time they got out of the car. Like, I have a high level of concern.
You think?
And you have a lower level of concern. Maybe we balance. I don't know.
Imagine stepping into the room, and before you could even put the suitcase down,
don't touch anything. Wash your hands.
Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. I just put the stuff in the car.
You shouldn't even pass the shoe area where you can put your shoes. You got to go right to the bathroom, wash your hands. You can't even enter the rest of the room.
I'm glad it was a relaxing weekend. It was really relaxing. So anyway, we wipe everything down.
But I brought all the wipes. Everything was wiped down.
We get out of our hazmat suits. And then
I decided to check our pet cam.
Big mistake.
Back at home to see how our puppies were doing.
Don't ever check the pet cam. Don't ever check the pet cam.
So I checked the pet cam.
What'd you find?
Oh my goodness. I almost started crying. So I checked the pet cam because our dog walker had just left. The puppies are now like a year and a half almost. And I thought that they would be okay, kind of quarantined to just the family room.
Big mistake.
Big mistake because
what
what
did I
I
say?
saw.
I said you got to leave them in the crates. It may seem
I
inhumane,
know, and
but,
I didn't want to do that.
Well, instead, what happened?
So I looked at the puppy cam, which also has audio, so I can hear them and see them.
And what did you hear?
And Tucker was behaving himself perfectly, like a perfect little gentleman, laying down, chewing on a bone.
Yep.
Junior, meanwhile, complete opposite, running around, jumping, howling, barking, howling like a wolf,
like a Siberian
crying
husky.
like he was dying. Nose up to the sky.
With his eyes all reflecting in the darkness.
In the dark, in the camera, and jumping on top of the couches from one couch to the other couch, trying to hurdle the gate system that was put up.
Yes.
Trying to climb. So at one point, so there's kind of a railing with some spindles. Imagine almost like a staircase railing.
For the men like myself that may not know what a spindle is, it's like
bars. A staircase, like bars, yeah. Right. That's kind of like a railing between our kitchen and our family room. Well, when Junior was a tiny little puppy, he used to fit through there. He used to squeeze right through and just run out, in and out. He must have had some kind of muscle memory because he had a flashback. He was trying to fit through the spindles, but he's kind of a little fatty now. He does not fit through the spindles.
It's muscular, honey.
He's stocky and very fluffy. He's got a lot of hair
stocky
too.
And fluffy. Bad combination for trying to get through a spindle because he got stuck.
So he put his head in there and I could only see, like the camera was behind his butt. I could see his big furry butt squirming, trying to pull his head out. Well, thank goodness we have a great dog walker. She turned around, came home. Junior had gotten his head unstuck from the spindles and she made different arrangements for them. But I was almost ready to turn around and drive the 4 hours back home, seeing little Junior with his head stuck and his furry butt sticking out.
You looked crestfallen.
Yes, I felt defeated and we had just arrived.
Just got there. So much for the relaxation.
Yeah, but we finally relaxed into the night. We were going to get up in the morning, start the day fresh, hit the slopes.
Absolutely.
And
I was pumped up.
You were pumped up, ready to go.
Until you told me that we couldn't have breakfast. And
and that's
because,
as
well as I do, Dominguez's do not like to miss meals.
I think we've mentioned this on previous episodes that if a Dominguez man misses a meal, we've got a problem.
We have a problem. And so immediately...
We were not going to eat in a restaurant because of COVID. Not on my watch.
You weren't going to eat in a restaurant.
It was like grab a coffee and go as quickly as possible.
Well,
get outside.
So we're missing breakfast. So already I'm working off of thin body reserves.
You're not feeling like this is a luxurious weekend getaway?
Not at all. It was really, I've seen some Belgian waffles on the menu too. So anyway, you know what? But I soldiered on.
You did. Say. You got your coffee.
Got our coffees.
Yeah.
And we went out to the snow tubing.
Yeah. So tubing is fun. Now, it was
more like luging.
It was more like an ice luge.
It was like an ice luge because it was cold up there in the mountains. And,
so I guess the snow melts a little bit, then refreezes, melts a little, refreezes.
Well, they closed some of the lanes.
And some of the lanes were closed because they were
the luge lanes. So the general of the snow tubing, right? Some tall, young, skinny man.
Yes.
Kind of laid out all the rules. If you do this, you're out.
Yeah.
If you do that, you're out. If you breathe, you're out.
He was very firm with.
Very firm.
There were a lot of rules.
A lot of rules. I usually just tube. I put my butt on the tube
and slide down. No.
One of the rules was
you couldn't go head first.
Couldn't go head first. I was like, you think? You're like,
you could go like 100 miles an hour on this thing.
Right. So anyway, we went down the snow tubing
luge.
The luge run 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And our youngest had a ton of fun. Our oldest was asleep in the car. He couldn't answer the morning bell. And
it was too early.
It was too early.
He tried. He got in the car, and then we were literally like driving across the street to the luge.
And he just couldn't make it.
He
couldn't answer the bell. And
but I had fun. I went down.
You went down, and then on my third run,
your third and final,
I hit air. I hit air. And somehow, because my butt didn't hit the ground on the way up, I think I was in a
on the way down
lane on the way down. I went straight into the retaining wall.
You went past the luge area, past
like 30 yards,
through
100 feet
to the end of the rec park, hit the retaining wall, and then
it ended up on gravel. I thought it was gonna puncture the tube.
Wait, after you hit the retaining wall, you then slid on the ice kind of parallel with the retaining wall till it ended, and then you were like off in the forest, like a tree forested area. I saw you walking out of there.
I think actually I was in the hunting area. I think I saw a guy with an orange vest. He thought I was a moose. I was about ready to take me out. I was like, no. And, I figured I wouldn't tempt the fate.
That was your last run.
That was my last run. My last luge run.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was, I could see why they had some lanes closed. It was getting a little dangerous. So speaking of the ice was kind of a challenge for me because it was really only my second trip ever snow skiing. And the first time we went skiing was...
Oh, we went to Breckenridge, Colorado, darling. It was
very fancy.
Very fancy with
and
snow.
very powdery.
They have snow. They have powder.
And that's where I learned to ski.
Easy to fall.
And the boys learned to snowboard. Yeah, and the fall is an easier fall, right? It's a softer fall. And boy,
yeah.
I had my first real fall on ice here in West Virginia.
I think they refer to themselves as the South. I don't know if it's the South or the Mid-Atlantic, wherever you want to. East of the Mississippi, that skiing is usually ice skiing.
Well, my usual slow down, like try to make a pie or a wedge, where you tip the nose of your skis together. No bueno. I was like a car sliding on ice. So I had my first couple of hard falls on ice, but I tried to keep it together. It's definitely scarier falling on that icy stuff than it is in the snow.
It takes a little getting used to, definitely.
It's going to take me some time. And then we spent really a lot of time in the bunny slopes.
The magic carpet
and the magic carpet.
We must have went up that magic carpet like 30 times.
You with the little one, after he had quite a few falls and was getting fatigued.
He was getting his chi back by going down
mastering the magic carpet.
100%. Yep.
So I looked over at one point and it looked like you were like a ski instructor helping some other kids.
I really thought I earned one of those red jackets with the white cross on the back, right? The ski patrol.
The first aid patrol.
So there's so many kids on the bunny, and people have sometimes
multiple kids,
1, 2, 3 kids right in a row, and they're helping the youngest kid, and the other kids are off fending on themselves. They were splayed out, the leg splits, one ski over there, and I just happened to be, because that's me. I'm going and help.
You look like you were helping kids up and keeping kids from falling.
German kids, French kids,
all
American
different
kids.
languages. And I don't think you got paid for that, did you?
No, I didn't get paid. Luckily, I didn't get any weird looks too, because I think the parents were
I think they were very appreciative that you were there. Yeah. So, all right, and then the Dominguez family has not yet mastered the dismount of the ski lift, but we did.
No one worse on the dismount than the Dominguez family.
It's usually all of us.
At least one person, if not two, or potentially all 3 people falling.
Or all 4 of us. I mean, it's not 4 together, but we fit 3 on a lift, depending on the lift, right?
I had to jump off this time because our little one fell in front of me, and if I had kept going, I would have landed on him. So I had to wait until he'd cleared, and all of a sudden the lift is going back in the other direction. I go, I better jump off.
Or you're going back down the mountain.
Or I'm going back down the mountain. So I jumped like an alpine skier. That didn't end well. I thought I hyperextended my knee. But
when we were back in Breckenridge, I had a little ski lift incident. So I was still learning.
That's right.
That's like a year plus ago, right?
Up the lift, you got tangled up.
Someone stepped on the back of my skis. So right. I got kind of jammed up and I couldn't get my spot to sit my butt down on the ski lift. So and the thing banged me down, banged my leg, and I fell down under it. And thankfully, I didn't get hurt. Someone hit the emergency stop. But it is still very raw in my mind over a year later, and I'm nervous about the ski lift now. But I knew on this trip, I was like, I'm going to conquer this ski lift. I'm going to get on it with confidence, and I'm going to dismount with confidence. And I pretty much dismounted in a heap of mess every time.
You conquered the fear, but if you're grading something on a scale from 0 to 10, we're a big 0 on the list.
I didn't even get a point on the board.
No, not even a point. Not even a point. Lucky we're still alive. But all right.
Well, we're lucky. I went back at it and I did it again.
Yeah, good for you. We had a good day of skiing, and as the day progressed, we realized that the only way to finish in front of the lodge and not have a big walk,
not have a long walk back to the lodge,
was to go a certain way,
a certain trail.
We couldn't quite convince
the youngest to take that trail.
He
wanted to take the trail that ended like a half a mile away from the lodge or a quarter mile. It's a good hike.
And he went out. And so what that meant was someone was going to have to haul the equipment, because we'd still be walking up that hill if he had to walk with his board.
It was uphill, basically.
It was uphill, basically half a mile uphill.
Yeah.
And so I drew the short straw.
And you...
I took my skis.
We were all pretty tired at that point.
Your skis.
His board.
And I have it all on my shoulder. I gave you the poles, and we're walking. We're trudging, doing a march.
Uphill. To the lodge.
And all the young couples without kids, they're looking at me like, this guy.
Like, what is he carrying all this stuff for?
And they see
like
you
what?
Behind, and they were kind of like, had this weird look on their face. And I was like, you know what? Wait till you have kids. And I just like walked by the hill. They were all kind of in shock, but I'd had enough by that point.
You had enough. It was a long day. But that night we had a fun performance that we got to go to. So I have never been to an ice skating performance like that. I don't think, not that I can recall, but we went to a beautiful outdoor professional ice skating performance, and we had some real professionals there.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Ice Capades. We saw them warming up. It was an outdoor ice rink with an overhead top. It was cold.
It was cold.
Cold as can be.
We didn't dress warmly enough.
No, we should have known. But the ice skaters were out there in their uniforms. And,
they're pretty outfits.
They're pretty outfits, and they were great. There were some U.S.
national champions. I think there were 2 gold and a silver medalist.
Absolutely.
And it was really impressive.
It was great music. It was a lot of fun.
And fun for all ages.
Fun for all ages, and a couple Beatles tunes, including our wedding song.
I know. Here Comes the Sun. And that was we were about to leave, and then another performer went on and performed to that song. And of course, it was like a sign that we were in the right place at the right time.
That's right. So
it was great.
It was a lot of fun. It was and that pretty much wrapped up our weekend at Cannon Valley Lodge.
I think it's Canaan Valley Lodge in West Virginia. I think it's Canaan. It's not Cannon. It's Canaan.
I think you only pronounce one A. Because it's spelled C-A-A.
No, it's C-A-N-A-A-N. Canaan.
Yes. So the Canaan Valley Lodge. If you're interested, we'll have
Canaan Valley Lodge. We'll drop it into the show notes. But a great place to go in West Virginia if you want some skiing, skiing,
luging.
tubing / luging, and
ice
skating, and just some outdoor fun in the mountains.
It was a lot of outdoor fun. The way back, thankfully, we only were misguided by the
GPS again.
GPS one time
into a wall.
Into a snowbank wall. And we thought we would end with an ode to the great John Denver, right? Since it's a West Virginia episode.
Well,
what do you think? You going to join me, or
take it away with your beautiful voice?
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
Nice. Very nice touch, honey. I'm sure you'll have an agent calling any moment now.
Look me up. Hit me up on my bio. All right. Thanks for another great
episode. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
And now we'd like to give a few shout outs to some of our most awesome listeners. First off, thank you to Joe DiNatale of Avantive Solutions in Philadelphia, PA. And thanks to Deborah Betcher, your personal house whisperer from Westchester, PA. And thanks to Aaron Wenrich of Period Architecture in Malvern, PA. And now heading out to Montana, thank you, Tony Treglia from Lure Me In Homestyle Cabins in Ennis, Montana. Thank you all for listening and supporting the podcast.